Hey you guys, so welcome back to our channel. We have been asked a lot, like for years, not just the last month or so since we've been back on YouTube, but for years, since 2013, like what baby step are we on, and what's an update on our journey and getting out of debt and following Dave Ramsey's baby steps and all of that good stuff. And you guys, it's not that we didn't want to answer over the last 5 years, Tennessee's entire life, but it's that life ebbed and flowed and our baby steps changed frequently. So I think I'm just going to preface this with kind of explaining a little bit about what we have gone through, what our thinking was, not to justify anything, but just to give you guys, just to be completely open and honest, because that transparency we know matters to us, and it matters to you guys a whole lot, just to see real people doing this thing and getting out of debt and living on less than they make. There's something just very special about that. So we will always be transparent with you, and I'm glad we're in a place where things have calmed down. Life has kind of calmed down a lot, and we can share that. So in April of 2018, we paid off Sally Mae, which was $86,000. We paid that off in, gosh, I don't know how long it took us. Right around the 2-year mark, it took us to pay off that much. We sold a lot. We just cut our grocery budget down to beans and rice. We had 2 little toddlers at the time, not toddlers, but younger kids, and it was 2013. So it was amazing. We sacrificed like crazy to get Sally Mae paid off and to be rid of our student loans, and then all we had was our mortgage left. And we started building up our 3 to 6 months in emergency, and it was really, really fun. Baby step 3. We're enjoying that, and then we decided we're gonna give away or sell our house in 95% of what we owned. And so we spent, right after Tennessee was born, you guys remember, we found out about our debt-free baby. We wanted her, but we wanted to be debt-free. The morning we found out, or we paid Sally Mae off, I'll link the video down below, but the morning that we paid off Sally Mae, you guys, we found out that we were expecting Tennessee. So it was just such an awesome, awesome chapter in our life. And then when she was just under 2, in 2016, spring of 2016, we sold our house, and we sold 95% of what we owned, and it was so fun. It was so fun getting rid of stuff. It was exhausting, but on the other hand, we were just like, we don't need that anymore. Like, stuff didn't matter to us anymore, and that was really exciting. So we proceeded for the next 7 months to live on a rented farm in a fifth wheel, which was kind of documented on our channel. Anyway, there's a lot of reasons why it wasn't documented on our channel fully, because it was an experience. I'll just say that. It was really hard. It wasn't what we thought it would be. But the trade-off was we were buying random people's meals in restaurants, and we were giving like no one else, and we were having a blast. Stuff we should have waited until a few more baby steps down the road, but that's okay. It's life, guys. So we lived in that fifth wheel. We thought we wanted property. We realized we don't want property. So we went and bought another house in a neighborhood, and I started a business. It was Lularoe. It was the chapter or season of Lularoe. And that business went so well, you guys. I worked so hard. We thought Josh was losing his job, so he wanted to work from home. We just thought this would be a great opportunity if I could build my business, and then he would come home and work with me when his job was no more. So that was our initial plan. It went really, really well. I grew to a 6-figure. My business was 6 figures within 11 months. Titi, yeah. I'm filming. So it was 6 figures, over $100,000 I did within 11 months of business. It was insanity. It was so cool to like go from a stay-at-home mom to be able to pull off something like that. That was empowering just for myself. And we thought we were in a pretty good position for Josh to be coming home. We were kind of making those decisions. And with retail, especially, you have to be one step ahead of the curve. So we were going and hauling our stuff to pop up. Sometimes we had 4 events a weekend, like 4 pop-up clothing events a weekend. Guys, we hustled to get that 6-figure, and my husband was shipping clothes with me. A lot of you purchased from us. It was amazing. We learned so much about ourselves during that chapter. I learned a tremendous amount about myself. And so we thought the next thing is to go mobile. So we bought a cargo trailer, and we decked it out with shiplap and clothing racks, and we filled our inventory. We moved it out of our house and into this trailer. And we bought a truck to pull the trailer, and it was like all business stuff. It was a loan. All of it was a loan. And I mean, we put some down, but we still had a loan. We had loans. So this business started, there was a point where it wasn't so fun anymore, because then the risk and to keep up at that level cost and put a lot of pressure on me. Our girls were in private school, and I was responsible for their school payment, and then I had car payment, a truck payment on top of it, and Lularoe was just for a lot of reasons. It was a good chapter, but there was also a dark side to Lularoe, and you just always had that need to purchase more. And each box wholesale was about $750. So to keep purchasing, we always paid cash for those boxes, but the investment was, and then the risk was too high, and we knew that. It was last November. Yeah, last November we were at a pop-up in our trailer, and we just said, we've got to stop this. This craziness has got to stop. So we spent all of December going out of business. We recouped a lot of our money. We sold off our inventory, garage sales, and things like that. And so that chapter of Lularoe closed. And then I started Agnes and Dora, which was an amazing experience. That company, I love that company. If you want to go buy clothing, look up Agnes and Dora, find a local rep. I have nothing but good things. I sent my inventory back. They're refunding my money. Nothing but good things. That company is moral, and I loved it. The thing that I didn't love is that I worked so hard with Lularoe, and I think I burned myself out. And so I didn't love selling clothes or retail anymore. And so when we went through, so that was last December. We went out of business. January, I launched Agnes and Dora, and we put our house up for sale. We needed to move, guys. We needed to move. We needed to move to a good school district. So I couldn't afford to pay with giving up Lularoe. There was a lot of things I couldn't afford anymore. We saw that giant truck payment. We sold our cargo trailer, but tuition I couldn't afford to pay for the girls. So we needed to move to an area and a town that had a good school district. So we put our house up for sale. It sold in one day. Our second house we had. Our first house we had for almost 10 years, you guys, where most of our vlogs were shot. And we started our Deadest Dump journey. So we had that house for 10 years. The last one was just under 2 years. And so it sold really fast. We were able to move from that house into this house. We'll be here for a very, very, very long time. It's a house in an amazing school district. Our girls are thriving. Everybody is happy. Josh is still employed. So thank the Lord for that. He never did lose his job. He's government. The funding can go away. We don't know. But for right now, he is working. So that took a lot of pressure off of me. So guys, we're kind of on ground zero. Like we're at a great starting point. I want to work through all of that. I figured that I learned about myself that I'm so much happier when I'm helping other people. I loved the company when ladies would come in our house and go shopping for clothing, and I just loved that community. I loved serving people so much. It gave me an identity outside of being a mom. So spring came this year, and we moved. We made the transition, and everything was new to us, you guys. New friend circle, new church, new town, new schools, new everything that we had known before did not exist. So it was all brand new. It was very stressful. it was an exciting time, but it was a really hard time. And those of you who've gone through changes, big life changes, you guys can relate, you understand. It's exciting, but it is hard, especially with the feelings of 3 little people, and just, it was just hard. So we reached for our oils a lot. When we sold our house, we hired somebody, and it didn't go well, and there was a lot of stress and a lot of stupid tax and trust that was broken, and we had to pay to move a lot. So we just used essential oils, guys. We've used essential oils forever, like in our house for 5 years, really for 5 years. Our littles, Zoe and Grace, are bigs now. Something was wrong with behavior, and we did an elimination diet, and we realized that they're celiac. So gluten-free, dairy-free, dye-free. We eat pretty much paleo is what we eat, and it costs a lot. But anyway, so we've used essential oils. It's been a journey. It wasn't one that I was like, hey, I use essential oils for a while. I mean, if people asked, I would share, but it wasn't anyway. So we used them a lot to help with stress in the spring, and I fell in love with oils. We were using like 18 oils a day to help us through that transition. And I fell in love with them, and I'm like, honey, I want to share oils with people. I want to help educate other mamas so that hopefully they don't have to go through the things that we went through with our girls. And just, they brought so much clarity. And I'm not going to talk about oils forever, you guys. I could, but if you're interested, just drop a message or send me comment something and reach out to me, and I'll be happy to share more of my journey. But anyways, so I thought the perfect job for me would not be retail, because I didn't want to have hundreds of pieces of clothing in my stash anymore, because it was dang expensive. Hang on, TT. And then second, I needed something that I believed in. I believed in Lularoe. I think that's why I was so successful for a certain amount of time. But I long term, like 5 years of using oil. So I now lead classes online and Facebook and out of my home, and meet one-on-one with mamas and other women and help teach them about the use of essential oils and how to not be afraid and how to use them. It's a business that is I basically don't have an income right now, guys, because it takes time. It's a business that takes time. I'm making a little bit here and there, but it's so different from selling, 5 shirts and getting income fast. It isn't like that at all. Shut my door, please. Shut the door. I'll be out in a minute. Thank you. So anyway, I just... That's my life. Anyway, welcome to my world. So anyway, I found something I'm so incredibly happy, you guys. I'm so passionate doing, and that's really what matters. More than the 6 figures in like Lularoe, and more than all the money in the world that I could have made, what happened with that was it just upped my responsibility. It upped my bills, it upped my payments, it upped my stress. I would lose sleep a lot at night because of what the bills that I had to cover, and then to have the pressure of bringing my husband home on top of it was too much. I just totally caved, and that's really a good part of why we went out of business in December. But I'm so grateful we did. So now I do oils, and I'm having a blast, and it's a business that I'm building that will be around for a long, long time. So, and it doesn't, Lularoe to start selling is $6,000. To start selling oils is $35, just your membership fee. So just that alone was just so much smarter over the long haul. So I don't sell retail anymore, to answer that question. No clothing, just oils. Josh and I, okay, so baby step. That's what this video is about. Sorry it took me so long, but I felt like I needed to tell you and catch you up on the last 5 years of life to show you where we're at now. Okay, so we are on baby step number 2. We're on baby step number 2. Yes, we are on baby step number 2. But we have taken complete responsibility for the choices and actions, and we just want you guys to know life happens. We had so many experiences. It was so fun to get rid of our stuff. I don't regret it an ounce. Lularoe taught me all about business and what I'm capable of. Not that I ever want to be, you know, a six-figure working 80 hours a week person or mama, especially. I missed my family. It made me miserable. But I'm owning our baby step 2, guys. We have the first round. I'm calling this like Dead is Dumb 2.0. I don't know. It's kind of cute, I guess. The first round, we paid off $86,000. This second round, we're about $11,000 in debt. So we got about $11,000 to pay off, which to us, we've had a lot of conversations, and we're pretty much coming out of that experience unscathed. And we're okay with that because we learned a lot. We spent money. We did. We had experiences with the girls. We bought a fifth wheel. Everything that we bought, we were able to get rid of and not be backwards. Like, seriously, our fifth wheel cost $65,000. And we sold it for $67,000. It was an expensive, huge, giant, massive fifth. You guys saw it in the vlogs. And so our cargo trailer sold for more than we owed. God has been so good in pouring out his blessings on our family. This debt, let me explain this $11,000 debt to you guys. So what it is we purchased a $50,000 truck for business. Because we were like, the money's really good, right? And we put a good chunk down and we were just going to pay off the rest and be fine until I went out of business and I wasn't fine financially. And my income went from, I was making more money than Josh, and then it wasn't making more money than Josh. So that payment, it was scary, you guys, to purchase something that expensive, brand new. It took us 3 months of trying to sell it. Maybe this is a separate video, but it did. It took us 3 months of trying to sell that truck, but a private party reached out to us. You could go buy a new one cheaper than what we were selling it for. Private party paid more than asking for it. Reached out. They like paid more than what we were asking for them to buy it for. It was amazing, and it was the biggest blessing. It's scary, you guys. When you take out a loan, we will never do that again, but it's so scary to buy something so expensive and feel like it isn't gonna go away. Like we don't need it anymore. We weren't even attached to it anymore. It was so much stress. And we didn't, it did though. It took us 3 months, but that truck sold, dang it. And so what we turned around and bought, it was a 2000, we owned a Ford. It was 2000, what year are we? 18? I think it was 2018 truck. Or 17. And we turned around and we bought a 2004 pickup with, half the mileage it should have. It just went up on Craigslist. It was up for less than 4 hours when we called this private seller on it. It was amazing. It was the biggest blessing. It is our debt, but in comparison to, you know, having a $50,000 truck to this truck was $12,000. We paid some off. Now it's $11,000, and it, you know, I mean, you have to weigh that and be grateful that we were able to come out of that and get into this. And so, it has half the miles. It doesn't have the 4 full doors, but it does have an extended cab and that has little wing doors. It's a Chevy. It's a 2004 Chevy. We've owned Chevys in the past. They've been our favorite, and we just, it was amazing. So half the miles, one owner, you guys. The truck was just serviced. All the major stuff had gone through it. Gosh, there was nothing wrong. The inside of it looked brand new, never smoked in. Just like that perfect used vehicle you pray for came up as soon as our white truck went away. As soon as that white Ford that we sold, this one came up, and we drove it, and we were like, man, this is one of those cars that you're just gonna have. It doesn't have all the conveniences. The girls surely could have more room in the back if we had a bigger, you know, the 4 full doors, but that costs a lot more money too. So Anyway, we're in it. We are happy and we love that truck, and it gets us up to play in the snow, and it gets my husband to work every day. It's reliable. He can go hunting. We like to go for drives. We like to camp in it, with it. Tent camping. I am probably never going to own another trailer after the fifth wheel. It was hard. That's a whole nother video in itself. But yes, so that is it, guys. We are on baby step 2. I don't want this to get too long. And so I just want to invite you to come along on this journey with us, because we are Gazelle Intense. So I'm leading essential oil classes and helping teach people about natural ways of using oils and other goodies in their home that isn't making themselves sick or their family sick. And it's amazing and I love it. Anyway, so I'm doing that. That is my main source of income. We have YouTube. We make a little bit on YouTube. We always have since we've been on YouTube, and it's been a great blessing. And then Josh and I are launching, it's called Lava and Pine. It is kind of his and hers Etsy shop, which an Etsy shop is something we've always wanted to own. But I am making these really pretty essential oil bracelets. You put your oils, they're called diffuser bracelets. You put your oils on there and you can smell it throughout the day. He's making oil trays for me because we looked around our house and I was like, I have oil bottles everywhere. Like I'm swimming in oil bottles. So we came up with this cute design for oil trays to hold all of the bottles. And then who knows what else this shop will hold. We love woodworking, we love DIY, and I love essential oils. So I don't know, but we're launching that shop this week. And then we have Josh's income as well. So we've got 4 streams of income, which is pretty amazing. And if I could think of more streams of income, I probably would, but I'm going to try and tone it down. All of these things I can do, Dead is Dumb, the jewelry, the oil trays, the Etsy shop, and my oil classes are all structured around my family time. So weekends are sacred weekends to us, and we don't schedule things on the weekends. And so that's kind of how it is. There's so many videos. If you guys want to know more or you have questions, leave it down below, because I can shoot these videos really, really quick, and I just need to know what it is you want to know. And I also want to know, what baby step are you guys on? Leave it down below. Let me know in the comments. I cannot wait to hear. I can't wait to catch up, and I can't wait. I'm just grateful for the second win that we've got to trim our budget. You guys will start seeing, we're going to start doing budgeting videos where we actually sit down and we show you what it's like to do a budget and stuff your envelopes and all of that stuff that we love so much that never quite left us. We just kind of made up our own plan. And so no regrets. We are moving on, and we're going forward. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, especially if you need budget help. If you just feel like nobody gets you and you want someone to come alongside, join our community, subscribe to our channel, find us on Facebook. All the links are down below, because you guys are amazing. You just deserve to hear that. You're incredible, and we love you, and I want to know what baby step you're on. Leave it down below. Okay. Bye, guys.